Because we're all the Lord's children, all with the same God-given dignity.
No diggity. No doubt.
LIL KEV is a brand new adult animated series produced exclusively for BET+. Oh, y'all just ain't want nobody to watch this, huh? I grew up during the rise of Kevin Hart's stand-up. Stuff like I'm a grown little man and Laugh at My Pain were quoted relentlessly by me and the homies at school, and they even filmed Paper Soldiers in my hometown. I wish there was a Prim's Hood Cinema video that I could direct y'all to, but you're just gonna have to trust me that this is a real movie and Dame Dash directed it.
And I want to be black so bad that I got a picture of Don Cornelius under my pillow.
Johnny.
Oh, right. White people watch these videos too. Dame Dash is I consider myself a Kevin Hart fan. I wasn't one of those people that just woke up one day and decided he wasn't funny and I was tired of him. Like, I feel like y'all gonna do to me one day. He's been talking about getting an adult animated series off the ground for years, but now it's finally here. I thought this was gonna be like a weekly drop thing, but they just dropped all 10 of them things on us. So let's talk about them. Mild spoilers, but y'all growing, y'all ain't gonna die nothing. No sponsor this time either. We going in broke and raw. Like me.
Mister, you just helped me solve this case.
Good. Now solve the mystery on why the fuck you are still talking to me.
Right after you answer a few more of my questions.
Nigga.
LIL KEV takes place in 1993, smack dab in the middle of North Philly, where Kevin Hart grew up. It's about him as a 12-year-old navigating through his childhood and a bunch of wacky black shit happens. Y'all know how that go. Because of the nature of his premise, LIL KEV invites comparisons to anything from Lil Bill and Everybody Still Hates Chris to Lil Rosie and Lil Ellen. Alright, so not exactly, but how often do you get the name drop Lil Rosie? A lot of Kevin Hart's early comedy comes from his family and his life growing up. Now it's more about his kids and his wife, but so many iconic bits are just about like his dad and his mom. Like, I really remember those things. His dad, his mom, his brother, and uncle. If you ever watch this stand-up, a lot of this cartoon is just going, oh, so that's what he was talking about. It was really cool to watch this show and catch a few references sprinkled here and there.
Don't come past the second goddamn step on the stoop. My mom turned my dad into the definition of a true stepdad.
You've been demoted to being a stepdad. That means you are not allowed past my front step.
Ma, out of nowhere, all I heard was, all right, all right, all right.
All right, all right, all right. Nigga swing like a pendulum.
Say it with your chest, little ass nigga.
He knew the secret to life. Say it with your chest.
Okay. What does that mean?
It means say it with your chest.
Be prepared, because this nigga says this one the whole cartoon. I think the way Kev himself is characterized in this cartoon is what sets it apart from not only its cartoon based on a celebrity's childhood contemporaries, but also apart from just cartoons that take place in the hood in general. Shit like PJs, Good Times, Chris, all stuff that I definitely like, but none of them exactly go the route that this show goes. In the pilot to LIL KEV, Kev starts a riot by accident because he was standing up to this light-skinned bully with a very hilarious name, using some jail shit his uncle taught him earlier in the episode. Alright, so I lived in Philly for 3 years. All you gotta do is sprinkle a couple dickheads and some stolen Jersey Club in this shit, and this is exactly what it looks like out there when the Eagles win. And this understandably upsets his mom.
Tell her what you said about Chin Check Mom.
Do I have to?
Your mama stuffed so many wieners in her mouth, Oscar Mayer wants her to be their new logo.
Damn, Kev, that's terrible. You wouldn't happen to have his mom's phone number, would you?
I like this nigga. We got the same values. Kev's mom works at the hospital in town. She directly sees the effects of all of the violence in her town on a daily basis, which is why she just cannot comprehend how Kev is out here starting riots, purposefully or not. She brings him to work to kind of scare him straight and show him the dangers of his environment. All really standard shit that we've definitely seen done before. But listen to what he says here.
So you don't think that I know that we live in a crime-infested neighborhood, Mom? Or that my daddy is drunk or high half the time? It's not that I'm blind. I just choose to see the world I want to live in. I am safe. As safe as I'm going to be living in North Philly. I mean, I know what time it is. I know who I need to stay away from.
I think that this is such a cool way to do a show like this. Having a main character that loves their environment despite its flaws, loves the people in it despite their flaws, and is generally more optimistic and strong-willed than someone like Chris from Everybody Hates Chris. Or I guess everybody still hates Chris. 2 shows? This nigga had hella childhood. There's a couple growing up in the hood cartoons, but this is the first, like, I love my hood cartoons that I've seen since maybe Class of 3000. Usually the main focus of these kind of cartoons is like, look, I know our circumstances aren't the best and it feels like the world is coming down on you, but we have each other. They prioritize the importance of that community and being there for each other. And Lil Kev definitely does that. The family is definitely important, but it isn't what gets him out of bed in the morning. Kev sees the good in everything while also determined to make things even better. The nigga just wants to enjoy life without living in fear. At first, I thought this optimism was just a bold character choice that they made, but in the middle of me writing this video, a Breakfast Club interview with Kevin Hart came out and I was reminded that this is just how this nigga speaks. I also find it funny that this nigga sat across from Just Hilarious for an hour, ran through the cast of the cartoon, and neither one of them brought up that she's literally the voice of a character.
Now you notice it's the same limo from the opening credits from different strokes. Ty Bridges rinsed it out to pay for his debilitating cocaine addiction.
Sheesh. Speaking of though, the cast of Lil Kev is unfucking believable. This is the craziest black cartoon cast since Freaknik. So many legends. Slink, Dion Cole, Avion Crockett, DJ Quick, Jaden Libran, Miss Pat.
Fuck you! I'm going to Supercut where they know how to treat a bitch right.
Loretta Devine plays like 3 characters using the exact same voice. The lunch lady, a lady in church, and Kev's grandma. Everybody is so funny in this. The writing definitely gets funnier as the episodes go on, and the performances really bring all of that to a whole nother level.
We are holding art class outside today.
This is gonna be so much fun. That's what I'm talking about, bitch.
So we can paint our Black Pride mural.
This is bullshit, bitch.
If there's anybody holding this cartoon on their back, it is Cree motherfucking Summer. This reminds me of when I was 10 and niggas was acting like there was only 2 black people you could cast in a cartoon and both of them were Cree Summer. But when was niggas gonna tell me that we was in 2005 again?
Ooh, I gotta go. We about to play hide and go get it, and I'm about to try and go get it.
She plays Kevin's best friend Gerald. She plays like a fiend on a block. In episode 8, she plays like this old broad in jail. I can call her a broad. It's a cartoon. She's not real. In episode 7, she plays this little girl that Kevin meets at the arcade, and they all just sound like Peebo from Proud Family.
Oh my God, I did see it.
I don't know what kind of shit you're into, but I want no part of it.
This is not a dig at Cree Summer. I just think it's funny how similar they all sound. Dion Cole as Kev's Uncle Richard Jr. is definitely one of the standouts for me. Partially because of the relationship that he forms with Kev's stick-ass white teacher that might be the most wholesome interracial relationship that I've ever seen in one of these cartoons. And another part is because of these line reads.
I've been their mom and dad by myself, no help, no sleep, no pussy for 48 hours. Do I look like Eddie motherfucking Murphy, nigga?
Now, this is a very funny line read, but it sent me down a 15-minute downward spiral. This cartoon is supposed to take place in 1993, and this is a joke about Eddie Murphy and children. My first thought was Daddy Daycare, a movie where Eddie Murphy and his homeboy open an affordable daycare in their home, but that's from 2003, 10 years after this episode takes place. So then I was like, okay, well maybe this is a joke about Eddie Murphy's pivot to child-friendly movies, right? But that started with stuff like Mulan and Dr. Dolittle, which came out in 1998, which is 5 years after this episode takes place. Eddie's 2 most recent movies by this point were Boomerang and The Distinguished Gentleman, which I've never heard of, but my quick Wikipedia search says that Shirley Ralph's in it. Neither film is about children, and both are rated R. So then, right, I thought maybe it's about those Mr. Rogers sketches from SNL, where Eddie would play a hood, pissed off version of Mr. Rogers. And if that's the case, this is a stupid fucking joke for no other reason other than the fact that I didn't get it immediately. So Kevin Hart actually voices himself in this cartoon. And there's no cute little modifier to make him sound younger. It's just grown man voice coming out of a little body. Just like Kevin Hart himself. That was too easy. I'm usually better than that. I think adults voicing kid cartoon characters and still keeping their normal voices has a lot of charm if done right. And if the adult has like a certain kind of voice, I guess. Characters like Dipper from Gravity Falls or Lisa Simpson aren't that big of a jump from the actors' normal voices, but you really get used to these voices coming out of these characters. There's slight nuances in the performance. Dipper's slight voice cracks, how Lisa's voice is slightly higher than Yardley Smith's. Really small details that go a really long way. I eventually got used to middle-aged Kevin Hart voice coming out of this child, but it took way longer than I thought. But I think part of it too is because Kevin Hart isn't that strong of a voice actor, at least not yet. You really get to watch him figure this out throughout this cartoon. That's not a knock at Kevin's acting ability either. I honestly kind of had Kev fucked up until I saw that Netflix movie Fatherhood. He's unbelievable in that. A really strong, emotional performance. But he's only ever been just like alright in cartoons. I wasn't begging for this nigga to get an Annie for fucking DC Superdogs or whatever. This is the most voice acting that Kev has ever had to do. Some reads are pretty off, especially when surrounded by such unbelievable talent. But still, when he needs to sell an emotion or make this kid sound really sincere, I think he does a decent enough job pulling it off. Anyway, here's a clip of him shitting on himself.
It's everywhere! It's even in my socks!
Don't smoke, huh? Alright, I don't think I agree with that. Comparatively though, Kev has these two little cousins that appear a few times throughout the cartoon, and whoever played these two wins the medal for series best in my eyes. I cannot believe how hard I was laughing at some of these line deliveries.
Can we go see the Lion King? I heard it's about an OG lion that gets smoked. Then his kid comes back to cap the motherfucker who did it.
Young man, what do you want to be when you grow up?
I'm trying to be your mama's new boo thing. I heard she thick as fuck.
I like this nigga. We got the same values. I think the last thing I want to say about Lil Kev is that this cartoon is fucking gorgeous. So much conversation online about adult animation is everyone complaining that things look too identical, but I sincerely think that that's just because everything not animated like Family Guy or Ricky Morty just goes unnoticed. Lots of people bitch about the shows that look alike and just don't watch the ones that don't. I can name so many unappreciated cartoons that look so vastly different, and you could just throw this on top of the pile. The lines might be some of the first things that stick out to any artists that are watching. Somebody gotta drop the file for whatever this brush is. The colors are really warm, which is great, especially in comparison to all these other bright-ass adult animated comedies. This dream sequence in the first episode looks fucking incredible. Love the limited palette and the colors just kind of bleeding out the lines. If I wanted to, I could talk about how cool this show looks all day. It's such a breath of fresh air. There's a lot of great dynamic drawings and poses, lots of subtle things that you wouldn't catch on your first watch if you weren't looking for them. The characters are constantly moving, they're constantly expressive. Even the background design, while familiar, still gives this cartoon an identity of its own. Look at some of these incidentals. These are the funniest looking background characters since Praise Petey. Whenever a cartoon finds a unique way to simplify everybody, it always makes me laugh. Who the fuck was I trying to impress with that Praise Petey name drop, golly. Lil Kev is a good time. There's a lot of really big laughs in here, a whole bunch of heart, and some killer voice acting and art direction. If you need a 10-episode cartoon to just sit back and enjoy, look no further. I had a lot of fun with this one, and I'm excited to see if they get to do more. It's good to know that something else exists for me to put that bullshit BET Plus subscription I got to good use. I swear, I copped that shit for that booty ass Martin reunion special and just keep forgetting to cancel it. Now I just watch 3 episodes of Miss Pat every 2 months. This is what I be doing. Y'all be thinking I'm busy when really I'm just watching Emmy-winning BET sitcoms. The truth is out there now.
Cartoons are the first time in your life where you get to decide who you want to be, or you get to see the possibility. Can I be the fastest, the smartest, the wisest? Can I fly to Mars, right? And that happens when you're a little kid sitting in front of that idiot box and you see these images and decide. Well, when you're a little brown boy or girl and you see images that don't reflect that, then you don't get to start dreaming right away. And that's why Lil Kev is important right now.
She's sick of that song on how it's so long. Thought he worked his until I handled my biz. There I is, major pain like Damon Wayans. Low down dirty even, like his brother Keenan scheming. Don't leave your girl around me, true player for real. Ask Puff Dad D, you ringing bells with bags from Chanel. Baby Benz traded in your Hyundai XL. Fully equipped CD changer with the cell. She beat me, meet me at 12. Where you at? Flipping jobs, paying car notes while I'm swimming in your women like the breaststroke. Right stroke, left stroke was the best stroke. Death stroke, tongue all down her throat. Nothing left to do but send her home to you. I'm through. Can you sing the song for me, boo?